Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, a lot of you may remember this particular automobile, the Honda Insight. Way back in the day, well, it's amazing how history will repeat itself in the world, and not only in that, but also in the automobile industry. When it comes to the Honda Insight, many years ago, the vehicle didn't sell very well, so they had to kill it off. Well, now here we are, several years later, and the brand new Honda Insight is now going to take the same fate as the first one did. The triumphant return for the hybrid little Insight didn't go really well, as the vehicle didn't sell that great, so finally Honda's sticking a fork in it because it's done. They sold, since the existence of this vehicle, or at least since this second generation Insight, they sold only 281,000 units. Sadly, that was worldwide. Now, that still didn't sound too very bad to me, but apparently that is really, really bad, at least to Honda's stakes. In fact, it's the second worst-selling automobile in Honda's lineup right now, so they officially have killed it off altogether. But I'm sure if you run around to some of the Honda dealerships, if you still want to get your hands on one, you might be able to get a heck of a deal on one. Next up on the list, well, the folks over at Hennessey, which is a tuning group down in Texas that actually built this particular automobile. I think most of you may know about this, the Venom GT, which is kind of got some parts of a Lotus, but it's also been quite elongated and a twin turbocharged monster lump underneath the, well, at least in the back of the car. This vehicle is super, super fast. In fact, they took it to NASA's actually landing strip in Texas, where they actually used to land the space shuttle, rented it out for a day, and this thing made a whopper mile-an-hour run. This vehicle went 270.3 miles an hour. Now, a lot of you may be going, oh, brand new fastest production car in the world. But there's a little problem with that. They didn't fight the folks from Guinness, mainly because production, at least as far as Guinness is concerned, they say you have to make 30 cars. Hennessy's only built 29 of these automobiles. Now, John Hennessey, I would think, would be right on board with trying to build a 30th edition, maybe call it the 270 mile an hour edition, maybe? Huh? John, if you want to hook me up with one of those, that would be great. But that's what, to me, you could get this production car record, at least for a while, until the folks over at Bugatti actually got wind of this and actually went for it again. But that being said, they also only made it in one direction in this particular run, and the folks over at the Guinness Book of World Records actually make you do it in opposite directions. Make one lap one way, one lap the other way, actually to make sure there's no funny business at least going on. But still, nonetheless, at least the fastest quote-unquote production car in the United States, even though it's maybe not officially that, but 270.3 miles an hour. I definitely wouldn't have been the pilot who wanted to try out that record. And last up on the list, this little vehicle is going to be making its official debut at the Geneva Motor Show. It's the brand new Opel Astra, but this is the OPC Extreme edition. And this thing is extreme, at least on the Opel side of this deal when it comes to the standard Astra, which comes because we don't know exactly what this vehicle is going to have under the hood. We assume it's going to have a little bit hotted up version of what the standard Astra is running. The standard Astra has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with direct injection. It makes 280 brake horsepower and 295 pounds-feet of torque. Now, as far as it comes from this particular automobile, they have shaved an absolute ton of weight. All right, maybe not an absolute ton, but 300 pounds of weight have been out of this. They took it out of the seats. There's no back seat in this thing. And, of course, you can see right up there, these are full-on race seats with 5-point harnesses. Not to mention, look behind the seats, a little bit of a roll cage back there. This thing is serious. Now, when we get down, they're talking this thing is going to have somewhere around 300 brake horsepower, or at least a little bit north of that. It doesn't stop there. This vehicle is going to have a 6-speed manual transmission. All the power will be shifted through the front wheels, but it does have an LSD, or a limited slip, front differential in the vehicle. Now let's get down to some really interesting things. Now this thing has 14.5-inch around rotors on all four corners of this vehicle, which is going to have some monster stopping power to this particular vehicle. Now, it has 19-inch rims, but these 19-inch rims are made out of carbon fiber. They claim just out of the four wheels itself that the vehicle lost 44 pounds of that 300 pounds just in those. This is a pretty serious piece of kit, and it supposedly has fully adjustable dampers and springs on the automobile. This thing is a track day star and something that's right down my alley. Would love to have this little vehicle. Sadly, it'll never make it to the United States, sadly enough. But I cannot wait to see what it's all about at the Geneva Motor Show, and we'll hopefully have some more stuff on it over there. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this Motor Cars enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.